Awesome, we are live. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining this live stream. This live stream is going to be a tiny bit different to our previous live streams. In this live stream, I have a very special guest from Aqua Security, who's the Senior Director of Global Brand Experience. And we're going to hear just in a second what that actually means. But yeah, we have here with me Ilan Dray. And before I introduce Ilan, I just want to say a quick intro that this live stream is streaming to YouTube, and it's under our code of conduct of all of our open source projects. Everything that we do within Aqua Open Source has a code of conduct that's within our community repository. So please, within any interactions with each other, be respectful, be kind. We have a chat that we're going to monitor the comments in the YouTube channel, in the YouTube video. So if you have any questions, do post your comments, thoughts, questions there. I see Alistair joined. Thank you so much for joining, Alistair. And I also have some questions prepared. We're going to hear about design at Aqua, and specifically a repository that we made open source with all of our cloud icons. But we're going to dive into that in just a second. Here is Ilan with us. Hello, Ilan. Do I pronounce your name right? I pronounce your name.
Dray. D-R-A-Y.
What? Dray?
Dray, yeah.
Not Dray?
Dray.
Dray. Dray sounds cooler. Sorry. I pronounced your name wrong. Okay, Ilan Dray.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
Perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, do you want to give us a quick overview? Who are you? Why are you here? Why do we have you on this live stream in the first place?
So first of all, I'm very happy to be here in Italy, Sardinia, in the background.
We are not at all jealous. Nobody here is jealous.
The beautiful nature. I'm here at Aqua Security for actually already 3 years, but actually I know the founders and all the team and all the company for more than 7 years. The first days, they came to my studio called Encode.
Mm-hmm.
I heard myself twice.
You hear yourself twice?
Yes. Okay, now it's perfect. So at the beginning, they came at my studio Encode.com. We were part of the digital studio located in Tel Aviv, created for them the product design. And they successfully became a unicorn and grow up. And today they have their own creative team. UX UI for the product design part, and a beautiful marketing team led by Shirley. So I joined them 3 years ago to take the company to the next level, to scale up. And part of this effort was to create icons. Why this library is important? Because everyone is using it, cross-channel. And it's to, like you said, to pimp your presentations and to make them beautiful. But it's also used in our product, in our marketing, collaterals, and so on. And this kind of initiative, it's exactly what unified a company design-wise. And by using all the same library and asset, we help to boost things forward and be much more consistent and align cross channels. So my job is to make sure that the experience at Aqua, at every level, will work perfectly. And it's not a personal effort, it's a team effort. And much more, I connect the people together. I give them tools like the icons, and much and better we scale and succeed.
Amazing. So let me share the icons that we're talking about. These are the icons. They are in our CloudSec icons repository. They are all open source. They are under the Creative Commons license. And so this was basically the result of an effort at Aqua.
Yeah.
And then you decided, let's make it available to everybody.
So part of, I think, Aqua values is how much we invest in the community with, different open source project like Trivia and Tracy, But
Yeah.
also it was kind of a statement to come up not with a code repository, but something that can be useful for everyone. So why not to give all this asset library to back to the community? It's a statement. It's like, Google Fonts or other big companies leading their industry. So as part of this statement of leading the industry, it was very important for us to give the icons, also to give the font we create for Aqua that is so accessible from our GitHub.
Yeah. Totally. How long did it take? So we have about 250, over 250 icons.
Yeah,
How
so
long did that
uh,
take?
it was based on actually the magic part. It's based on the font of Aqua, the same grid. And what to make such a effort, you can see here the grid. We created icons that are bold with a specific system and very recognizable with our blue royal colors that is branded Aqua. And by using not a trend linear thin icon, but something much more friendly, it creates something really different from a visual perspective that is kind of our signature. To make it happen, it's a team effort, first of all, because I needed to map all the terminology, all the icons that the community need. Part of them were obvious. Certain were much more tailor-made and totally custom made for Aqua needs and for the cloud industry, cloud security industry. To join me on this effort, I have a talented designer that is a freelance that is called Dan Morgulis that was helping me really to develop the language, to sharp them, to align. All the time we upload, every quarter we upload more than 25 new icons. And today we celebrate 250 icons. So I'm very happy to share them and to make this effort joy fruitful for everyone.
It's amazing. Yeah, here you can see the Nautilus logo, right? As
Yes.
part of the icons, which is our research team at Aqua. They have their own logo.
Yeah.
Um,
So
and
what is the thing that differentiates this icon? We wanted to go, because our name is Aqua,
yeah,
to use elements that are also funny. For example, on top you have a jellyfish to represent the risk, or you have some the trident to instead of the symbol of the shield. You see here for DTA,
yeah,
and every time that we have the opportunity to make it a bit more cool, so we just do it. Look at the icon, for example, of the hacker. Is
yeah,
very not the traditional guy with the hoodie, but something
yeah,
more from the old time of comics in
yeah.
the 80s.
That's amazing. I think that also shows how much effort and how much planning and thought goes into these icons, right?
Yes, yes. Each icon can take between 2 hours to 20 hours. It
Wow.
depends of the concept.
Yeah.
Most of the icons are based on standards. So when I have an icon to design, it
Hmm.
becomes possible from a team request. So it's very important for me because they feel like someone listen to them and do it pretty immediately. So after 24, maximum 84 hours, you have the icon ready made and tailor made and aqua made. I call it. And this is make it very unique. So when it's obvious, so I analyze what is the standard in the industry. And
Yeah.
as soon as that I have a standard, so I apply it and make it create it just by following the grid. But sometimes we have some, concepts, we can call them, like enforcers that are very properly, is the name of the agent of the name of Aqua Agents. So we needed to create something very unique and very special. and yet I believe that it can help other people to reuse these icons. And today, what is beautiful is not only the team requests this icon, I have the community in the cyber industry, because I know very well the ecosystem in Israel, that ask me, Ilan, can you do a repository icon or
Yeah.
something nice? I say, why not? It's a kind of effort that's showing that it's a successful project, and it's easy to deliver. The impact is very strong in the company, because today we see everyone use them. They do not need to ask me. They download them from the GitHub or directly for our design system that is called Octopus. It's our asset library, and they use it. They can change the color, the size are all vectors, and it's pretty easy to use them. And Dan Morgole, thanks to you, man.
Dan is the other designer who helped create this.
Yes, yes. It's very important to have someone that understands the terminology,
Yeah.
because we are using in cloud security, this industry is so new that sometimes there's no standard, and we need to really think what can be the best representation of the concept.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, we were uploading the C2C icon, and it's not something you find it on Google Images.
Yeah.
It's very, very unique. What is beautiful that even the Noon project, that is the biggest icon platform in the world today, took all the icons of aquasec, and it become kind of validation of the hard work, because they have moderators that doing very very filtered job to select only the best icon in the world, following high standard quality. And now you can see it need to be in black, you need to be in a certain size, you need to be very consistent. And as soon as the moderators themselves approve, for me it's a validation that give even much more impact, because they are mainstream. I have more than 50 to 100 downloads a day from the Noon project. That is insane.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I just
And
want to reiterate on it that it really lots of these icons, these are representing terms that are so new that you won't find a proper image that can represent that in an understandable way, let's say,
yeah,
online. Like it's very difficult to find icons that you're free to use, right? In your
yes.
presentations, there's some like very few sites, but they're difficult to discover. So this is really great to make diagrams also more understandable without adding too much text, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can people, like, let's say I'm going through these and I'm missing a specific icon in the
They can
space?
they can comment in the GitHub, and really we are looking at all the
Yeah.
requests. Some people ping me directly and ask me,
Yeah.
and I'm very pleased to help them. Uh,
Amazing.
and also there is some icons that I will give you a good example. What we call our the persona, the audience. For example, what is the difference between an icon that represents the DevOps and the DevSecOps? It's two different profession, and
Yeah.
yet we needed to define something that can differentiate them. If you write it in Google Images or some icon finder or stuff like that, you will never find specifically what you are looking for. So it's like memory, RAM, and CPU. For each icon, we really create something unique, because it's not the same. And this is make it and become very interesting, because we started with the obvious, and slowly we got challenged by the team. Most of the what we call the CISO team at Aqua,
Yeah.
doing architecture diagrams, that need to be very precise, neat, and and represent the machine. What is the power of Aqua? So this kind of technical architecture is very important to be very, very, very precise. But today, we because we have such a rich library, we use it also in marketing, for HR, events, for very different use cases that I'm sometimes by myself very surprised. The customer success team use it a lot, the support team. It's part of the documentation. And of course, you can find them inside the product. And it's all about collaboration and how we work as one team. It's really beautiful to see it at Aqua. And this kind of initiative is just a tool that help to unify people. It's part of my philosophy that I call fusion experience. And I wrote a book
Fusion
about
experience.
yeah,
Elaborate on that philosophy.
fusionexperience.design is the URL of the book. And I explain all the framework and all this philosophy of joining force to be stronger together.
You need to elaborate. So you have written a book, or you're in the process of writing a book?
I wrote the book. You can the URL.
Send me the link, and then I can showcase it. I didn't know that you wrote a book. You mentioned it once, I think. No, you mentioned it. That's my bad. I think you mentioned it.
Yes, here we go. You can share it with the world in the private chat. So fusionexperience.design is really a philosophy that I started to implement it already in many unicorns companies by their needs to work in a scale level, and also to work better together. Most of the companies in Israel, once they become international, there is a kind of shock of culture and shock of methodology, and no one really create tools and a framework that help people from all around the world to work together. And the iconography is part of the process, and it's just a little example of what can help to connect the dots.
Amazing. The site right now, it's still loading. My internet is struggling a bit with the live stream and opening pages.
It's okay. It's okay. It's going to happen.
I will showcase it. I will also let me post it in the chat, so people can
okay,
also check it out by themselves without me struggling here. But stay on this live stream. Don't just move away.
So you have also a font that we created that is called Aqua Droplet. This font is very unique because it's made of the A that reminds the drop of water drop, and it's part also of this agenda to give back to the community maximum of visual creations that we are doing. And I think it is very important. Only this way we can grow up as a community, by sharing knowledge and encouraging this kind of initiatives.
Yeah, totally. You just mentioned that the A is a water drop. I never realized that.
Yeah, you can see it on the bottom part when I explain about the grid.
Oh, wait. Where is that? Oh, here.
Yes. So here there is the jellyfish, but originally you can really see the A of Aqua of our logo.
Yeah.
Is a drop. It's two drops because there is a A at the beginning and one at the end. But you can see also that this icon do not follow a trend. They are very original. They are branded. They have their own trademark in a kind. And this is one very important part that was important to differentiate ourselves by such visual elements. It's not only about the technology behind the scene, it's also about the user experience. We have a very beautiful team led by Maya Fidel of UX UI, and documentation and all, and the efforts are doing to give our the insights accessible,
Yeah,
user experiences and UI is so much important at the end of the day. And
yeah,
this icon are part of this ecosystem that make it easier to understand where you go, where you are, and what you are looking for.
totally. What's your vision with these icons? Like the direction. You mentioned it
So
a little
yeah.
bit with Fusion Experience, but what would you love to see in the next year with those icons?
So more I have people from the community and not only inside Aqua asking me for specific icons,
Yeah,
and better it will be, then it will create really something unique. It's very interesting also that it opened doors. A lot of people in the community that fall in this icon really are thankful for that. They were waiting for something like that. They are very grateful to have also someone they can discuss about it because they have other ideas. I will give you an example about any industry that is a new industry. You don't have icons. So if you are a designer, I give you a tip: create iconography for the metaverse, for the blockchain technology. We don't have such icon. It's terrible. It's something that is going to revolutionize the world, and no one create really a series. You can find an icon of Bitcoin or an icon of mining, but you cannot find a full library. And this is what is beautiful. It's when you do the effort to go until the end. So at the beginning, people are resistant because it's something that it's new. But at the end of
yeah,
the day, when they start to implement, to use them without you to ask them, they just implement in everything. It's so beautiful to see it happening. And it's an effort that I was thinking about it for more than wow, 5 years already to make
oh wow,
it's a project that I had in mind for a while. So for me, it's like very proud to see it how it evolves, how what it generates into for to the community, and how it brings a huge differentiator to Aqua security.
you touched upon a really important point that if you don't like here we see like all of the different names of the different icons, right? And
Developer, DevOps, DevSecOps. So exactly the three different personas that are three different kind of expert in the industry. And if you
yeah,
look the same on Google Images, you will have the same icon of the DevOps is the DevSecOps. It's also the Facebook profile. A normal picture, or they will go to a very cliche, like a
yeah,
very hipster guy. I want it to be also neutral. It can be a woman, it can be a man, it can be everyone. And this is also very important because in our industry we can have a cliche of certain personas, and I really
yeah,
wanted to make it as part of Aqua values, very generic.
yeah. That's totally true. That because we like when we have the language to talk about something, we know how to refer to it, right? But in presentations, when we don't have the images to represent what we are saying, then
Yeah.
we just refer back to the stereotypes and visual representation of anything because we don't have a way to express it.
Yeah, and you see also more and more I have icons that are generic, like academy or
Mhm.
accessibility. It's part of the product. It was request, very specific request, but it is still very important to give them as part of the one family of icons that makes much more sense.
Yeah, totally.
What is nice because it's a SVG, that is a format of file, so you can resize it any size you want, even to make posters of them, and also change the colors as much as you wish because they are SVG and not an image.
How do I don't know how to use the Excalibur properly.
You just change the color. and it will change the color.
How can I
So,
change the color? Here.
so in the PPT, yeah.
No. Where do I change it? Here. No.
It
How
didn't
does
change.
it?
Open, in Escalidro, I don't use it. I use them much more on PPT, but I'm
Draw.
sure you can change them.
They're always, yeah, you definitely can change the color because I changed it for the thumbnail of this video. I changed the color in my thumbnail too. I just never use Draw, but I wanted to show how easy it is to use those icons in Draw,
Yeah,
for example.
you can import and create your own library, and we are trying also to implement them in other softwares. And there is some challenges, but we are checking different way to implement them in different other libraries and other diagram softwares, not
Yeah.
only Royo.
I looked at ways, to incorporate it in Excalibur, but I couldn't find a way that didn't require me to upload the icons one by one. So, if somebody's watching this and knows how to add it properly to Excalibur, otherwise you can just download the zip file and then drop in the like you drop in any other image into your diagram, right?
Yeah.
So that's really straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah. And because also these icons today are free, so what is nice with the Noon project, I want just to give a background, that when they do not accept an icon because there is a defect or something that is not correct from design point of view, or from so they don't only deny it, they explain you what you can do to make it better. So the feedback part, it's very important for me to answer your question. What is the vision is also to create this kind of communication with other people telling me, listen, Ilan, accessibility is better to in our country is not from left to right, it's right to left. Can you make an icon like that? Or database is better to show it this way instead of this way. But we really made a lot of effort of research with Dan to always we are sending to each other different ideas before to close what will be the final icon. And then when it passed the moderator, for me, it's kind of validation and confirmation that we did a good job.
Were there icons that didn't pass, where you got feedback before it passed?
Yeah, many icons actually that are all sometimes are a question of quality, how you close them, so it's very easy to fix them. Sometimes it's the team, because there are many moderators, it's not only one guy decide yes or no, it's more than 5 every time.
Okay.
So they really have a conversation apparently between them and decide what is if it makes sense, if it really represents the best. And because they have a huge icon library, so they can compare to other icons and see, okay, this is something.
Brilliant.
For example, there is one of our one icon. Sometimes it's also a trademark issues. For example, I wanted to do the elephant of Postgres, and they didn't accept it because it's an icon that is a logo that is trademark and so on and so on. But you can see the icon of Linux. It's not exactly 100% the logo of Linux, and yet it represents pretty well the penguin of Linux. So it you see, for example, here you don't see it downstairs.
Where is is it?
So this is exactly the classic case. Linux, they will not accept it because it's a logo. But in the GitHub, you will see the version.
Here you see the penguin. Yeah. Here's the penguin. Yeah.
But you see, I didn't take the full logo recognizable, but make a zoom on it, and
Yeah.
yet it is recognizable like the GitHub little cat or
Yeah.
that you see on your canvas now.
I think there's also something that a lot of times people don't pay enough attention to in their presentations of the source of the different icons and images that they are using. And I mean, you can freely use these icons, but other icons, you have to provide reference. You have to like provide additional information of where did you take those images from, right?
Yeah.
Who's the original owner? And that's often not done enough. Yeah, and
What
this.
is good is also a question of consistency. That as soon as you have
Yeah,
enough icons to use, so you don't need to mix with other icon libraries that are thinner or darker or a different style. It looks much more consistent in your presentation. It's look much more organized, structured, and we try to go in the minimalist style. What I mean by that, not overwhelming element. It will not catch attention on the content that need to convey the message much more than the icon, but it will really illustrate in a very simple way, in a good way,
yeah,
what you are trying to convey.
yeah.
You saw, for example, the CVE icon.
I was just looking at it. I was thinking about it. Yeah, it's
It's
pretty
something you will
clear.
never find on Google
Yeah,
Images or stuff like that. Um, and
totally.
Even a BPF, that is new technology, and we are using at Aqua, but they do not have an official logo. It's the B.
Yeah,
So there is some people did a B and people reuse it, but it's not the official logo. So when you don't use something that is not, when you are not sure, better to use abstract art.
yeah,
And iconography helps better than and proper use of logo or trademarks that can also, from a legal perspective, can be an issue. Here we offer them for free. Open source is part of to give back to the community, as I said before. Assets that can be helpful for other companies, not only other people. Sometimes I have, this conversation, but Ilan, you are not afraid that our competitors will use them. So I'm very happy that our competitors use this actually, and it's just a statement saying that you are leading the industry. And every time when you move forward with new initiatives that are disruptive and create such a buzz, it's much more impactful than to be a copy paste of a trend or trying to be
yeah,
scared of the competition. I'm not scared at all. We are not scared. I think it's an industry where the community is strong and we need to work together.
totally. Yeah.
And you are a big part of it, nice. So thank you to you.
Thank you. So we talked a lot about how the technologies and the developments of the technology influences those icons and the design of the icons. How would you say, throughout you being in the cloud native space, how does design influence the technology, like the other way around?
Yeah,
What are your thoughts on that?
I think with the new industry also defined by Gartner, and Aqua was a huge part of it, that we call SYNAP,
Yeah,
Cloud Native Application Protection Platform. It's so new, and we define so many new ideas and concepts in our product to unified and we stop cloud native attack is our slogan. So we needed to find a way that so it's easy to scale up, and when someone need an icon of a new feature or a new concept, it will be easy to create it, to duplicate it. And today
yeah,
the library is so rich that you can see, for example, database is an icon, and data repository become the little icon of database on top, a bit on top, the first line, a bit on top. One
Database,
more,
where is it?
database and data
Ah, yeah,
repository.
yes.
So you can see really the repository is made of the icon of the database, and the
Yeah,
folder was the folder of the icon of the repository. So 1 plus 1 equals 3. I mean, by that, it's totally part of the fusion experience concept that we can fuse also different icon, mix them, mesh up, and create something new for new needs or new technology or new approach that this industry define now.
yeah,
My best and my little story, my best anecdote maybe. We are working. You were referring to Nautilus, our research team at
yeah.
Aqua Security, or even the open source team that is working on a lot of new principles and new technology, and define sometime also, or the research team find new vulnerabilities, and to this vulnerability we need to give them, they give a name, and then to this name we need a representation. It can be a visual representation, but it becomes standard. So we need to create an icon unique. For example, head crab, or crab head, was one of the latest one vulnerability we found. So we really needed to. We are working now on to create such icon of all the vulnerabilities, all the family of vulnerabilities. So
Mhm.
it can go very far. There's no limit for that.
How do you make the decision on how to, in that case, like in case of, for example, new vulnerability types or
So in
specific
general,
vulnerability?
is who found it. So in the research team, they can define the name of it, and
Okay.
they came up with the name. In
Yeah.
general, it's very funny names. I'm using, by the way, a lot AI Midjourney to create sometimes visuals,
Yeah.
because it's surrealist names, and it helped me, to to vision what can be the icon, because the AI is very versatile and know to use different sources to
Yeah.
create this imagery that can be a very good source of inspiration. By the way, I wrote a very nice article about how to use AI in your day-to-day work as a designer.
Where did you
It
post
was
that?
it was in the blog of AI blog. I will send you the link,
Send it to me.
and
I will put it into the description of this
yeah, I
YouTube
will
channel,
do it.
YouTube video
And
as
and
well.
and it was interesting because this interview was done by AI, so it was a robot interviewing me
Yeah.
in live, and I needed to answer live to the robot, and it
Oh
was
wow.
imagining my experience, my story, and my answers to go to the next question and nail this interview. It was the
That's
first
nice.
time that a robot interviewed me. It was very
I
interesting.
don't have I have never had that experience of a robot interviewing me.
Never
That
too late.
definitely sounds fascinating. Yeah.
And so I believe my purpose is to continue really to deliver any icons you need. So this is the message for the community. So feel free to correspond with Anais or myself and ask on the GitHub for more icons or more specific icons. Feel free to add some star. We need your support. It's an effort we are doing, and it's the only way to recognize our effort in a kind. And this way, it will give to this repository much more popularity.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important to share it and to talk about it and to use it. Feel free.
Definitely. Also, if somebody who's listening to this is hosting a conference, please do share these icons with the speakers to use in their presentations as well, so they hear about it and they have assets already that they can use. Because it's one of the difficult things as well as speakers. If you have, like, you sometimes get templates, right, of like backgrounds, but you don't get there's no standard besides having like the same background of how you should set up the presentation, right? So this can help also conference organizers to have a more unified kind of branding on their slides of the different speakers as well. Just one more use.
Exactly. This is helping a lot. And also, I love for the most challenging maybe is all the architect engineers team need a very specific iconography.
Yeah.
So for diagrams that are technical that you can find in our documentation, and it's always interesting to explore with them the concept of what is missing, what do you need more, and they are very enthusiastic to help you. So professional people that CISOs and security experts feel free to ask. I will always be happy to put it on the list. Like I said, it's really this way that you can create more and more cool library.
Amazing. So I know how you got the inspiration. We've learned how you got the inspiration for these icons. How do you generally get inspiration for new projects? Is it what you see then in our different teams at Aqua, or is it based on what you see within the industry, or is it how do you come up with new projects like this?
So in general, I'm looking what can connect the people, what can so there is a basic element like colors, font, icons, and so on. And then there is the next thing is to look not only from your department perspective, but to look in a holistic way what people are doing and how we can align between them. So by understanding what everyone is dealing with and what are their challenges, it becomes my opportunity to align and to connect the dots. So my job as a is really like I call it in the book. I look at the the company like a bird from the top, looking at and helping maximum department to work better together, helping me to create initiatives that helps to align between people and empower them and the team to work even better.
Amazing. How do you have a strong interest in such as NFTs, right?
Yeah.
How would you say do these new industries, such as the cryptocurrency space, how do they influence design? Like, do they influence design also in other tech industries?
Yeah. So first of all, I share with you on the private chat the interview with the robot, with the bot. So feel free to put it in the comment.
I put it into the comments already. I was ahead.
So yes, anything that is new technology, AI and Midjourney or just name it. There is so many applications. But what I love specifically in the world of NFT, so even if you have, an anti because NFT are scam, Ilan, and blah 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 blah. You can continue to focus on what is negative, or you can look at the positive aspect of it. And what is the positive aspect of new technologies and new trends and new art? Because it's the NFT is the future of art, that people express themselves in a free way, in a freestyle way. And this inspired me a lot. This is why I invest in NFTs. I'm looking at technology like blockchain, what can evolve there, or trying new tools to create metaverse and so on. So I think it's very important to try to get inspired by such new art.
So that it provides you with inspiration for your day-to-day work on expanding.
Yes, I think because it's freestyle. It's really you can say even my avatar profile on Teams is all the time at the latest my latest NFT. So it's part also, by the way, and the Web 3.0 is all based on the community. So it's for the community initially, made for the community, by the community, and so on. And you need to give back to the community. Of course, like any new technology, like at the beginning of the internet, there is a lot of scam, a lot of issues, and until
Yeah.
our defined regulation and the legal part and compliant and so on that make it um, uh, uh, organized. But, and this is very important, the blockchain is here to stay. This a smart agreement called NFT today, maybe tomorrow we'll have another name, is here to stay. The metaverse exists already. There is million of dollar of transaction every day. I don't buy a JPEG here. I buy to be part of a community that is very strong. I get utilities in the real world. I was invited, by the way, this is the gods, to Paris, to events that I can get inside the event only if I'm part of the gods family, and so on and so on. So much more, and use cases become legal, and
Yeah.
find they found a very strong use cases. For example, in the fashion industry,
Yeah.
in the fashion industry today, there is a lot of fake Louis Vuitton, fake Rolex, fake everything. Today you will tomorrow. And already today, actually, I'm buying my shoes or my clothes via an NFT, certifying it's the original,
Really? You do that?
connected to my name, and I receive in the real world the shoes or the outfit, and this way the brand do not get copy. I get in advance the new collection. I get original, and I'm part of a supporting community for the fashion industry. I do believe it will be the same in the cinema, in movies industry, because today, distributors like Netflix taking 70%
Cut.
of fees,
Yeah.
and 30% for the movie, and then the artist or the creator at the end have maybe 3%.
Anything.
Exactly, it's not fair. So we need to
Yeah.
change.
You
And
don't
Web
have to persuade me.
no, but I'm explaining this for the community that came sometimes with a lot of, scare a bit about new things, and for me as a designer, really, when you open OpenSea or look at Magic Eden about new collection of NFTs, just to look at the art is so pleasant, it's so disruptive, it's so new
Yeah.
that all the time something new, more catchy. It's for me priceless inspiration, source of inspiration.
Makes
They
sense.
give me on the get on the gold plate what can be the next trend, and if you know to mix it with AI and other technologies, so you become very strong designer, and can
Yeah.
move forward things very quickly, and create such initiatives that also give back to the community. This is very important.
I guess the difference is that a lot of these icons, well, some of them are completely new, describing I guess, very, very new term or completely new term that's defined by Aqua. Some
Mhm.
of them are, like, for example, the AWS icon, right, is inspired by the logo. So some of these, you will have to work with certain constraints of how it's like, for example, when we think about, I don't know, when we think about a container, right? Like there's
Yeah,
already an idea in this space, in the cloud native space, of what a container is, right? So your design is already influenced in some extent by the idea, versus in the crypto space with NFTs, people are creating these new kinds of designs that are not influenced yet by
exactly,
existing terms. And I guess that's where you get the freedom and inspiration
exactly.
from that space, right? Does that make that's how I
Yeah, yeah,
interpreted what you said.
it's totally this. It gives me much more abilities to create and to understand
Yeah.
what can be done next. And we are lucky at Aqua really to define every day some new, the future of Synapse. The Synapse is now
Yeah.
an effort, is a concept, like Draw said also, and something that by unifying all the forces together um, to secure the cloud. So we deliver all the time new features and new concept and new approach, and we found new vulnerabilities, and all these elements need to, it's like a name of a baby. You need to find
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
the ID to define it, and I have the privilege to be the part to create the face of it in a kind, but always based on a strong concept or something that can convey the message and not to compete with the message.
Yeah. Totally. We have like 9 minutes left. If there's anybody watching who has some questions, then please do post them in the live chat. If you're watching the recording of this YouTube video, then please do post in the comments. We also have a Slack channel that I will link in the description of this video as well, where you can join and ask questions. And I'm sure Elaine can also answer them there on Slack, or do get involved here on the GitHub repository. Please do start this repository. It's linked in the description. If you're using the cloud icons in any way, or if you like the initiative and you want to keep the repository linked somewhere, you can also propose new icons through issues. Is there anything else that you would like to share, Ilan?
So I'm also very active in the social network, on Discord, on Twitter, on any platform you just feel free to follow me on Twitter. And people communicate with me. I'm trying to find time to to answer everyone, but I do believe it's part of defining the future. I need your help to define what will be not only the next icon, the next thing. And this conversation we just created today, Anais, and you are just for me a megaphone that helped me to invite other people to really participate and help each other to fuse the experience. Like I said, this is all the philosophical concepts that I invite every one of us. And I will tell you a last story because we have 2 minutes.
Please do.
One of our biggest competitors, so the art director of this company, the biggest one. Okay, we will not name any companies, but he told me, Ilan, wow, you got this idea before me. So it's it's funny because sometimes it's so much obvious that people don't do it. But and there was not, we were looking at the beginning with the ties that lead the open source at Aqua Security about do we have it's weird, Ilan, there's no a library of cloud security icons on GitHub. We need to look for it, and we were looking for
there is. We put it there.
We saw many other kind of icons library, but nothing in the security industry oriented. And he said, you have a case here, and go for it. I'm fully supportive. So thanks Itai, thanks all the team of the open source that helping me to make it happen. Liam at the beginning was very active to make it happen, and you now today helping me also to update them. So thank you very much to everyone that makes this library possible.
Totally. I love, like, my main takeaway from this conversation is really how this connects to a much broader vision of connecting the space, and not only creating unified language that connects us across the cloud native space, but also to have the visual assets to communicate it.
Yeah. Next thing will be an asset of imagery and other elements that I'm creating to share with the community as part of the needs that I feel, even from an image bank perspective, when we are looking for cloud security imagery, you will find, the standard shield and the lock and the cyber hacker matrix
Yeah,
theme, but you will not find original library of imagery unique done conceptually for our industry. And this is a shame because our industry is very strong.
totally.
Listen the deck, it's magical behind me. So many decks. Only in Sardinia.
Amazing.
I love you. You are all
Amazing.
invited to come to Italy in Sardinia. It's a little island just below Corsica,
Yeah,
but it's magical.
it looks beautiful, and but I have never been. I've only been like in the north of Italy, never towards the south.
It's on the left actually when you look at Italy of
Yeah. Okay.
just below
Beautiful, the view
France.
as well. Show us the view. Move to side. Oh, nice.
So you can see even the sea there.
Oh, wow.
So we are here in Porto Rotondo. It's one of the most beautiful part of the island. And
Yeah.
this island is pretty magical. Ah, here the ducks. I was looking for them. I know you love animals.
Did you know
Nice.
ducks would be used instead of guard dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is a beautiful story about Sardinia? There is a little village called Seulo.
Yeah.
Seulo is considered the blue zone. Have you heard about this term?
No.
Blue zone. So the blue zone are 5 areas in the world where people live more than 100 years old, and is the
Oh,
biggest
yes.
concentration in the world is in Sardinia and Seulo of elderlies, of people more than 100 years old, because the quality of the air, because of the quality of life,
Yeah.
because of this beautiful green and ecology and environment that makes this life every
Amazing.
better in
So you will
Italy.
have a long, long time to create more assets for the cloud
Yeah, this
native
is
space, more
definitively
art.
source of inspiration.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Ilan. Thank you so much for joining us here on our YouTube channel and talking to us about the cloud native icons and the repository and also the entire philosophy behind it. It was really inspiring. If somebody in the chat has a question, and please do post them now in the next minute. Otherwise, you can also comment below in this YouTube video, and then I will make sure that your question gets answered. Thank you so much, Ilan. That was, I think the ducks are getting too loud. Are you muting yourself because
Now
of
is
that?
one helicopter passing on top of me,
Um,
but it's okay. I can talk.
we
So
can
thank
hardly
you,
hear it. It's
Annalise,
fine.
very much for your time. I don't take it for granted. And thanks, Aqua, first of all, and all the team to give me freedom to experiment new ideas like that. And again, it's a teamwork. It's something that all together we can make it happen, and we are making it happen.
Amazing. Thank you. Have an
Ciao.
amazing day. Thank you, Ilan. Bye bye.
Bye.